Look what I has. I have nothing. I have a package. Nothing came with the package. I was ripped off. Dang you, Toys R Us. Nah, I already took everything out, obviously. So, I'm in a good mood today. I'm on Christmas vacation now. So this is something I've been waiting for I wouldn't say a long time, but for a good while now. The legendary Morpher, aka the Power Rangers equivalent of the Mobire from guyz. The packaging is really similar to that of the Gosei Morpher. You got the two key slots over here. I'm going to show you what the keys are later. It's set up the same way with them. Super Megaforce Red holding the Morpher. On the back, we see, that's blurry, isn't it? We see packs of 3 keys. These are the key sets that we've heard about. For some reason, though, they don't show every season. Dino Thunder, RPM, Jungle Fury, and Overdrive are all missing. I'm going to assume that they're going to be released. They just didn't put them on the back for some reason. For some reason. I don't know why they didn't show all of them, but we know we're going to get a key for every Ranger sooner or later anyway. Put this back over here. Hopefully it doesn't fall over and kill everything on sight. So here is the thingy. It's closed. Now first off, no, I don't have a Mobire, so I have nothing to compare this to. But I have watched a lot of videos about the Mobire. Sorry if I mess with my hair, it's bugging me. I have seen a lot of videos about the Mobire and stuff, so I kind of know things about it from like ear and eye tests and stuff. This thing is a lot smaller. I think if you have the Mobire, you can just tell by me holding it in my hand how much smaller this thing is. And from the looks of it, that's actually kind of a good thing because the Mobire was really large. This thing actually fits in your hand fairly well. I mean, it's not too, there we go. It's not too wide because I know the Mobire was like out to like right here or something. It was ridiculously wide going front to back like that. But this thing actually fits pretty comfortably in your hand. I mean, it's still really large, but it's not one of those things where like your whole hand will be back here. No, you can fit the entire thing in your hand pretty comfortably, which is pretty sweet. Got the you can't see that. There we go. Too much. So you can see the guyz logo right there, Super Megaforce logo, whatever you want to call it, on the back there. And they don't have guyz written across the front here, obviously. I think it's self-explanatory for that. So let's open the thing up. Here's the inside. First thing you're going to notice is this thing is completely different than that of the Mobire. The Mobire had 2 swords that were like standing up straight like this, and when you open it, they opened up, and then you saw the center part. I was going to say portion, and I wanted to say part. But instead, the top halves of the swords are folded in, but you can see the rest of it. It looks a bit goofy at first, but I mean, when you put a key in and open it up, it looks exactly the same as the Mobire anyway. It's just done differently. I'm not going to complain, though. I mean, it's not a big deal. It looks, the Mobire thing does look better closed with the 2 swords, but it's not that big of a deal. Who's talking to me on Skype? People I don't want to talk to. That's who. I just called out somebody on my account, and I don't care. And the buttons here. I know that the Mobire had this thing where it had a fully functioning keypad and all that stuff, and you could type in the number of a season. Like if you typed in 016 for 16, you got the thing to scream Zoo Ranger in the completely lovable Mobirat voice, which, as much as I love this thing, I'll admit that the voice for the Mobirat can't be replaced. Hearing it scream off Ginga Man and Shinkenger and Goanger and stuff, it's always fun. One of the few things I like about Gokaiger, but I'll get the Gokaiger when I get the Gokaiger. But this is just like a cross thing here. 2 down through 8 and 4 across to 6 is all one big button. See, I'm pushing down 5 and 2 and 4 are going down. All of this right here, this is one big button. So you just push it and it makes like the Mobirat button pressing noises. I really don't have a problem with this, but because I kind of saw it. Because mostly, how would you do that with a Power Rangers thing? I mean, obviously Mighty Morphin would be 001, but then when you get to like Zeo, would it be 002? For the second team, 003 because of the aliens. Would the aliens be 2 second, or would it be 004 because it was the 4th season? Will we not have a 3 or 2 or something? Like in Space is season 6, but it was actually the 4th team because you had Mighty Morphin, Alien, Zeo, Turbo, Space. Wait, it was actually 5. Mighty Morphin, Alien, Zeo, Turbo, Space. It's actually the 5th. Yeah, it's actually the 5th. So but it was season 6. So would in Space be 006 or would it be 005? You really couldn't do a numbering system like that for Power Rangers just because of Mighty Morphin having 3 seasons kind of screwed that idea a little bit. So it doesn't really bug me that they didn't do that with this, because that would have been really confusing to get done. So let me turn the thing on real quick. See if you can hear this. Did you hear that? Yeah, I kind of don't blame you if you do. This thing's actually really quiet when you don't have a key inserted. See, it's just... no biggie. This thing's bright, too. It hurts my eyes, like, seriously. Yeah. But it's pretty quiet when there's no key inserted. And I can't remember who it was that said this, but there was somebody that said that the reason why is because when kids get a hold of this, they like putting it up to their thing like an actual phone, even though the speaker's down here. They do like do this, but like if it's really quiet, they'll put it up to their ear. But when there's a key inserted, they really can't do it because there's like a big thing coming out like this. So then they turn up the volume because they know they're not going to get there. So, I mean, it makes sense, right? Why would you put your ear up to it when there's a key in it? Make it louder when there's a key in it so they can't get their head close enough and hurt their ears. Makes sense, right? So this is what the thing looks. That's all basically without the keys you can do with it. Let me turn this off real quick. One thing I do like about this compared to the Gosei Morpher is actually an on-off switch back here. Right there. The Gosei Morpher you couldn't turn it off. It was demo mode, card mode, Morpher mode, and card game mode. There was no... Almost fell out of my hands. It almost went whee! There was no off button on that thing. That kind of annoys me, but this thing's got an off button, so I'm really happy for that. So now, if you've been collecting the Gokaiger keys, and you can kind of tell these are really tiny, but I like them. I really do like these when you actually get to see them up close. So here is the... Did my computer just kill itself? Sorry about that. My computer went to like go into its screensaver mode, and it kind of went all black on me for a couple seconds. I don't know how that affected the recording, but if it did affect the recording, I'm sorry if my blanked expression scared you people a little bit. It usually goes to screensaver when I'm on here talking, so I have to wake it up. But that time I just went black and like my cursor disappeared and all that nonsense. So here is the Super Megaforce key. My camera doesn't focus, so deal with it if it's blurry. The details on this thing are actually really, really good. I'm not gonna lie. It's key PR001 in case you want to know what key number it is, because yes, this is doing. It has a number system just like the guyz keys. That you won't be able to see that. It's on this part of the key right here. You won't be able to see it because my camera sucks like that. This thing isn't meant to show things up close, so go with it. But hopefully you can see that fairly well. The details are a lot better when you actually have the thing in your hand. Like, there aren't really many things wrong with this key specifically, other than the silver along the along the visor and the side where the hat design starts and all that stuff isn't there. But what are you gonna do? Now here's the Red Ranger key, Mighty Morphin Red. If you have the Tyranno Ranger key from guyz, then I would say this is an upgrade. Only because I have seen the Tyranno Ranger key, and it looks horrible, because if you know what I'm talking about, his visor thing kind of looks like a derpy looking V for some reason. But here it's actually the way it's supposed to be. Now you can see the mouth. It even has the teeth. Like, because you know how the Mighty Morphin Zoo Ranger helmets worked, where it had the, especially for like a Green and Red Ranger, where it had the mouth and stuff. It has the mouth. You can see the teeth. They're just not painted in. So, I mean, yeah, from like a distance, it looks really odd. But if you look at it up close, you can see the individual teeth perfectly. And it looks really, really good. Now, I'm assuming the guyz Zoo Ranger one had the teeth on it, but the fact that the shape of the visor was so like V-ish looking, it just looks stupid. Like every time I saw the Tyranno Ranger key, I was like, that's horrible. But I think from a design wise out of everything, this one looks a lot better than the Tyranno Ranger key. The only thing that bugs me about this one is that the diamonds on the boots aren't there. But then again, as we'll come to see from some of the other keys when I get to them, because I'm going to be reviewing individual key sets and stuff when they come out. I'm going to be following the keys like crazy. But as we, like I said, as we get to some of the other teams like Space and SPD and especially Ninja Storm, see that some, like this, no diamonds being on the boots is actually the least of our problems. Because, oh man, they get really, really bad after a while. Good. Had a virus scan going on. I need to check on something. Alright. So let's get back to this thing. So, one of the things that the keys from Japan did right was size accuracy. These are obviously much smaller than the guyz keys. But one thing that the guyz keys didn't do right was this. Because you know how always in guyz where they had the keys, they just kind of tipped it and the bottom flipped up. Well, the guyz keys, you had to manually flip them. These are spring-loaded. So you can just kind of put your ring finger right there on the foot and boop. So functionality-wise, these are more accurate than the Japanese ones, but size-wise, the Japanese ones are more accurate. So there isn't really a 100% show accurate thing. But actually, I would rather have this than the size accuracy, because this is actually really cool. When you do it for the first time, you just feel awesome. I don't know why, but I like that. I like that a lot. All right. So as you can see, the logo is really small here, and that's because the card scanner app for the cards was updated to be able to read keys. You can see the little faintly. You can see the little dots around the sticker. That's supposed to be a thing for the app to scan, and it's supposed to let you play as a certain ranger in like a little mini flash game or something, and then it records the key in your collection database, just like it did for the cards that you scanned. So it's a cool way for you to keep track of what keys you have and don't have and stuff. So I mean, the logos are still there, they're just really small. Alright, so let's give this thing a whirl.
Super Megaforce.
Sounds ripped right out of the Mobile. So I mean, when you put the key in, this doesn't look any different than the Mobile. It still looks really good though. I like the guyz logo. As much as I really am not particularly fond of guyz as a season, there are a lot of aspects about guyz that I like. And one of the things is the team logo. So this looks really good. So yeah, it says Super Megaforce Red, which I'm assuming the Super Megaforce keys are the only ones that gets numbers read off. And then this. See what I mean by getting loud when you have a key put in? You couldn't hear that the first time when I didn't have a key, and you can hear it now. I actually think it's way too loud. So there are little tidbits when you... So Skyship, aka the Gokai Galleon, is going to be renamed the Skyship, which I'm okay with, because it's a flying boat. I mean, but one thing I do want to talk about real quick before I move on to the Red Ranger key is, I don't know how smoothly the turning was on the Mobile, but I want you to listen to this clicking when I turned it here. I turned it off. Hear that violent click? You hear that? You can actually feel how awkward it is to turn the keys inside the thing. Now, these things are sturdy. Like, I was tugging and messing around with the key on this one earlier to see how sturdy they were, and they're really sturdy. But it just feels like when you stick it in there that you're having to force it to turn. But it feels really strange at first. I don't know how the Mobile was, if you stuck it in there and it turned fine, or if it had like one big click. But it has a couple like really violent sounding clicks, and you can kind of feel it. It's really hard to explain, but you'll know what I mean the first time you do it. But it just feels really odd at first, but it's fine. The keys are sturdy enough to where it won't be that big of a deal. As long as you don't, force it, then I think the keys will be perfectly fine. Alright. You do see the, seeing how this symbol really wasn't used in Mighty Morphin, so I'm just going to call it the Zoo Ranger Team Medallion, because they were called medallions, not coins, and Zoo Ranger is still there. So, yeah, we are getting each team's actual Sentai logo, but these logos really weren't utilized too much in Power Rangers, except for maybe like SPD and Lightspeed Rescue, where they were utilized a lot more. But we're getting each of them, so it's really cool though, because I like each team's logos and stuff. once again, ripped right out of the Mobire. And that's way too loud. That's a lot louder than it should be. And gravy. But yeah, it just says Mighty Morphin. It's a little bit more of a less energetic Gosei Morpher voice, which I'm okay with it. This thing is a lot more fun to turn the key than it is to put the card in anyway. So I actually kind of enjoy this thing a little bit more than the Gosei Morpher. Even though the Gosei Morpher is a bit better than this because it has a lot more sounds to it, I enjoy messing with this thing a lot more. You weren't supposed to do that. Pretty cool, huh? The old communicator sound from Mighty Morphin. I think they said every non-Super Megaforce key will make that noise, which from Mighty Morphin, Zeo, and maybe Turbo, I could let it slip. But when you have the Mighty Morphin communicator noise for like Mystic Force, it doesn't really make any sense. But it's still a nice little callback, which I enjoy. It's a lot better used on the Legacy Dino Morpher. One thing I really would have liked there instead is if you turned it again, it said their morphing calls, like it said it's morphing time. If you stick in a space key, it says let's rock it and stuff like that. I really would have preferred that. But what we got is what we got, and I'm perfectly okay with it. So, all in all, I love it. I really do. I don't have a Mobire, but I do plan on getting one at some point because I really like the Mobire's voice. That's the only reason why I would get it. Is to hear the thing scream Kenja in person. That was terrible. I'll never do that again. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. But for right now, this thing is really, really great. If you prefer Power Rangers to Super Sentai, get this. If you like them both evenly, I would get this anyway. Because it's, with how these keys work, it's different than the Sentai one, but at the same time it's the same thing. Basically, you take the Mobire and put a little bit of an American twist on it. I mean, yeah, it's cheaper. It doesn't have all the different noises and all that stuff, but I think size-wise, it's much better, and then functionality-wise, with the flipping thing like this. Oh yeah, you can stick the keys in without the arms being folded up, by the way. And the arms are still down. I know the Mobire, you had to flip the arms up for it to fit in, but you don't have to do that with these if you don't want to. It fits in just fine, so +1 to Bandai of America. Some people don't care. I'll be like, oh, it's Power Rangers, so it sucks. I doubt they sound like that, but go with it. But I really, really do enjoy this thing. I was waiting a long time for this one, because I do like the idea behind Gokaiser's change gimmick, and I did like the Mobire a lot. But I really have no ties to Sentai. I've only been watching Sentai for 2.5 years, and I've been watching Power Rangers since Mighty Morphin. So, first time I saw the Mobire, I was like, I can't wait for the Power Rangers version of this, and I finally got it, and I really love it. And I'm going to be jumping all over the key sets when they come out too. So I'll be reviewing each individual key set, talking about, you know, how they look and whatnot. So I'm going to be covering Super Megaforce pretty hard because I'm really excited for Super Megaforce. And this is the first little bit for it. I don't know if I'm going to be getting the Megazord. I might, if I have a decent reason to. Because all the little side things like the Wild Force Lion, the Mystic Force Dragon are going to be coming with Red Lion key and Mystic Red key, and then like the Delta Runner Run is coming with the SBD Red key, and they're making a Zeo Zord that's coming with the Zeo 5 key, and then Lightspeed Red, Time Red, and Galaxy Red are coming with these little bikes that go with the Zord builder, the legendary Megazord. So Red Ranger keys are going to be coming with accessories to the legendary Megazord, but they're also coming with the 3-pack. If there's something different about the keys, like I know that the legendary Megazord comes with another one of this, but it's like that clear red, kind of like that see-through-ish red, so it's a different version of this key. I'm going to wait and see if the keys for those are handled the same way, and then I might decide if I go with the Megazord and start picking up each individual thing. And if not, I'll probably just wait until price goes down, because even though I'm really not a fan of Go-Kaio, I do like the little season tribute add-on things that it had going for it. So, Super Megaforce is officially upon us. This and the Megazord and the sword gun and a couple of those little flimsy arm figure things are the first in the Super Megaforce line. So Super Megaforce is officially upon us. And if you don't like it and you want to dry hump Gokaiser more, then go dry hump Gokaiser more. Because I am excited for this. Will my complaints about Gokaiser be jammed into Super Megaforce? We will see. But as for right now, I don't care. I'm excited. Why am I bashing Gokaiser so much? I will get to that whenever I get the Gokaisers. Deal with it. So as for my actual reviews, I have Mighty Morphin Season 2 and 3 watched. I'm getting into Zeo. I just got done with finals, so I was getting that done and out of the way. So I think the next 2 days I should have Season 2 and Season 3 up. I'm just getting started on watching Zeo, so I'm a little bit behind on my reviews, but I should have those 2 up next 2 days. I'm on a Christmas break. I'll get a lot done. I'll get a lot of things done over this next month. So, I'll be doing more key reviews as they come out. So, if you're really interested in how the key stuff goes, pay attention. I'll be covering it for you. Because I'm hyped. As you can tell.